out as well, and that was the
noble creatures, couriers.
that was the bits of the necro book,
with
so
treasures that would
that kind of hurts for
most
Zai.
kings.
There's an extra minute and a half of not having the availability of getting that complete with the belt of strength out of the game.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Pinging
attack.
top, Zai looks like he may want to go. He's pretty low on mana, though.
Dire's top tower is under
Even with the
attack.
one charge, he's only going to just have enough for the
Radiant's
overgrowth.
bottom tower is under attack.
And he's already going to start the fight on top of them. Mass TP's coming in from Secret, though. There's just enough for the overgrowth to come out into the horde. Matu joining forces with them as they turn onto Weehaw. Weehaw turns with the Viper Strike onto Matuma Man, and with Mind Control coming with that Power Strike, they'll get the kill. Matu will fall. Weehaw still alive. He's able to juke it off, walk through the trees. The Nature's Craft is down, so Secret will kill him off. And now the numbers have turned up for Secret. Nisha jumps in with the Dissimulate. They take down a second. Secret will come out on top here with a 2-for-1. Sure, they do lose Matumba Man, but they managed to get Weehaw for it. And Nisha, you want to jump in for more? It doesn't look like he will do so. But they do hold. They defend this tier 1 tower. They will be able to heal it back up.
But Matu dies. That is very painful. He wants to be the one who survives and at least gets experience or gets a little bit of something from the kills that do come out, since he actually had to use Haunt to join up there.
There's the combo again. Mind Control commits with the Burrow Strike, and there's the setup for the arrow. Nisha still has an Astral Step off to the side, and he'll live, and now Mind Control gets turned on. Yapso
Radiant's top tower
with the
could
zap.
use some backup.
Kills off the Sand King, and they just didn't quite have enough to burst Nisha with that combo, getting away with minimal HP.
Yeah, Nisha's actually farmed. He's caught up very soon. He's actually ahead of Weehaw in farm on this.
It's all that time that we are sort of spent going top. You know, that whole smoke into that movement where, sure, as you say, they have to fight eventually where Matu dies, but Weehaw dies as well. It just slowed down Weehaw's game immensely. Because you're absolutely right. If it's 12 minutes in, this was a Viper against a Void Spirit mid, and the net worth's even, suddenly one of the reasons why you've picked this Viper has, it's just been totally shut down. The Void Spirit is having just as good as a game as you.
A part of the reason the Viper was banned.
Sure, no, not the only, but one of the reasons. You do expect the Viper to dominate mid and get on top quite easily.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, Nisha does die there. Mind Control is able to catch him.
Up top.
See if they can get Zai. Use the overgrowth. Won't stop Weehaw from taking him down to the poise.
Immediately, Weehaw starts pinging the tower. He's like, "Yo, Tree's dead. Let's press forward. Let's get this tower before he respawns. Before he can start to slow us down off of it again."
Yeah, let's see if they can get it this time. Let's see if Secret do try and come in with a defense. At the moment, Matu playing the other side of the map. Knows that there's unlikely to be any pressure from Nigma down here, as Nigma are looking for those objectives aggressively. We are just going to be allowed to hit onto the tower in mid lane. The fight will start as Mind Control goes for the Burrow Strike onto Yapsor. They do lose the bench, but with the jump forward from GH and the magical burst from the two of them, they kill off Yapsor, trying to chase for Puppy. Burrow Strike back up in a second. They'll be able to set up onto the Enchantress as well. Nigma, they'll get Puppy, 2-for-1. Arrow onto Nisha. Nisha was sticking around there, trying to hit some creeps underneath the ward. The arrow connection won't be enough to allow Weehaw to get quite in range. Mind Control is trying to chase forward with that blink. Nisha, just out of range of any sort of setup, will live. Enigma, again, not showing they're not afraid to fight, and they're it seems like we've seen this so many times from Enigma. This first 20 minutes or so, they're very good at really realizing the power spikes early on of their drafts. It's just a question of whether they can continue to turn this into a push that's going to get these towers. It's going to be able to break the high ground before mistakes start to be made, and suddenly Secret are taking the game away with them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is time. They've got not everything they need, but they've got the majority that they need to really take over the map versus what Secret have. The blink on that Sand King coming out so early. Miracle is fairly tanky and strong too, especially when they go next to their Venge, who buffs them up a lot when he has 4 points in the Vengeance sword already finished.
Anisha, got the setup. Arrow has already been used. There won't be any follow-up for now. He's going to go for the TP out in the trees and nothing to stop him. So he'll get away, but Nigma, they do get what they came for. The tower finally falls on that top lane that they've been so insistent in trying to take away from Secret.
I'm not sure how Secret fights back in these next, like, I don't know, maybe like 5, maybe even more than 5 minutes, maybe like 10 minutes or so. It's going to be very difficult for them to actually take any of those type of fights. They have to kind of just hope that Nigma is more split up and they can catch heroes out of position. Because if they are looking to fight in any type of team fight, They will likely lose. Nigma's a lot stronger than them right now.
Mind control. And jumps it very aggressively into the three of them. He has got the sandstorm to give him some sort of safety, but Matsu's in with a horn. Mind control's dead. Weeha still pushes on. Nisha able to jump out of the poison with the astral step. But they lose mind control. Zai, nature's grass there, but they won't poke for any more. So just a little bit too aggressive from mind control Sand King.
Secret will take whatever they can get, though. You see no hesitation to use the haunt there from Matumba Man. He actually has the Manta style finished up. Pretty good timing.
Yeah, you got a lot of space on that bottom lane. Whilst that whole bit of action was going on top, they were, Nigma were pushing in, committing for that tier 1. Matu had a good 5 minutes or so where he had that whole bottom half of the map to himself. Both carries picking up the Manta style in synchronization, him and Miracle. It is done. And Nigma, they'll head into the pit.
I like this. There's no haunt. Yeah, force the fight. You have everything available. You know you're stronger in the 5v5 anyway. This is something that you force Secret's hand. And Secret, they can't address this, so they have to actually just try to get some farm. But they don't seem aware of this. Look at Matumba Man's positioning. They are all kind of hiding off of the map at the moment. This is a very good play.
Yeah, and an excellent lineup to take Rosh. All the auras. That helm as well on We Are. Roshan doesn't stand a chance.
Radiant's top tower could use some backup.
Straight up to the top lane they go. Miracle continuing to build entirely defensively before he goes for the big items. BKB queued up next after the Manta.
Yeah, that's okay.
I
thought just because it's a Miracle, he would go for something more greedy just in between this because of how good it feels in the game at the moment for him. But if they can get the BKB, they could actually just end the game once he gets that. So yeah, that's probably the biggest thing he's thinking about.
Especially because of the fact you have the Venge, you have the dummy, you have these auras, right? You're not too concerned about your ability to hit buildings, hit people. You've just got to keep yourself alive.
Yeah, and you just want to close the game out. If you can close the game out in these next 12 something minutes, the Spectre won't be online and won't be available, or they won't be ready to actually take a good fight versus him. So yeah, I do like if they get double BKB timing, could be quite nice.
Yeah, it definitely does sort of reveal your hand though, right, to Secret. They're going to see these BKBs coming out very early. They know that certainly if Nigma's not able to break the high ground and sort of take the objectives, win the game with those first few BKB charges, it then starts to shoot them in the foot. Because suddenly, if the game transitions into the later stage, they're going to be having to deal with working with these 5-second BKBs against the Secret's potential to play around them even easier later on. Yep. So Nigma's they cannot allow the same mistakes to happen as they did in game 1.
It's got to be a little crisper when they do get those BKBs and go for that push timing. And they're all sticking together. Nobody's really splitting up on their team this time around.
Good job. Mind control going in underneath the tower. He'll get away with it. Easy pick on the Absol.
So many stuns.
That's all they need. Just any sort of initiation will be followed up immediately.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Creep wave. Not quite here on the mid lane though, so the damage cannot be done to that tier 2. Put the Moonlight, see if they can catch anyone else out here. Nisha still out on Nigma's half of the map.
He's been farming in that exact spot for, I want to say, 4 minutes now. He's just been chilling over there, just knowing that it's not safe to show on the lanes. Zai is the one who's going to be at least addressing the top lane over and over again because he can do it invisibly.
And mid.
Tree lines.
Bit of a wrap around behind the tower. TP reaction will come into play though. They're looking to commit onto Puppey behind this tier 2. Yep, so with a quick telekinesis and a Faith Bolt does put them off pushing for that Enchantress, and the Living Armor on the tier 2 tower, keeping it in a state where Nigma cannot push for this. Other members of Nigma teeping up towards the top lane. They see Zai reveal himself on the creep wave. They need Mind Control to find the jump first. Arrows out to try and give them the vision. Mind Control jumps forward. The double dust won't. The dust will get him, but the stun will not. And with both stuns already expended, they don't have a further way to stop him from getting out of there. Zai will escape, and that's Nigma 2 dust out. That's the cost adds up.
And it's the space. They forced them back, so this gives them more time to be able to farm up for that Spectre. And now mid, they forced 2 heroes back. This is not all of Nigma.
They're going to be able to take the Aegis away from Miracle, and now with the jump onto Weeha, they kill off the fight, but they're going to be able to commit onto Miracle a second time here. He's trying to run. He pops them. Mantis Star Mind Control does come in with the epicenter. He's able to get himself on top of Nisha. Nisha turns the Resonant Pulse. The shield will not keep him alive. They lose the Void Spirit. Nigma, they've got to be getting out of it though. Yapso, he's just handling them all. The Fade Ball into the back of Mind Control lifts up Kuroki. Secret will come out on top.
And Miracle's lucky that he gets away there. He almost actually died to the blade mail of Nisha. His ultimate almost killed himself on it there. That way, the way that Secret actually just forced. Now they forced Nigma's hand because they forced 2 TPs to the left, and immediately they look to pick a fight mid when they have the number advantage, and they get a big one out of it.
And you're seeing the money on the Spectre. These sort of involvements, Matu after the Manta style, he's propelling himself at a very good rate towards that relic. 2,900 on the bank coming up. And sure, still Miracle very much ahead with that lead. But it's pretty much a similar situation as we saw in Game 1. Miracle going for these items that he wants to end the game with. He does not want this game to fall back and farm. Sure, he's on a Luna, so this time around it doesn't feel as bad because you have that innate ability to farm at an incredible pace with the glaives. But Spectre with a Radiance, Matu's going to be able to keep up at that point when he has that done.
That definitely shakes Nigma quite a bit there. They're going to be much more hesitant now when they address the side lane push from Zai, he's been doing this the whole game, right? Just Nature's Grasp, throw your book 1, push the lane. Because they're not going to catch him in the tree lines. It's too difficult to. So he's making so much space for his team to be able to allow this Void Spirit Inspector to get this farm up. Now we see Enigma, they want to go for something a little bit easier, go for this tier 1 bottom. There's no haunt still available for 30 seconds too.
Yeah, and they'll get it. BKB is complete now for Miracle. We'll see how hard they do try and push the issue with these first major items, and coming out at very good speed as well, of course. Just 22 minutes in, Manta, BKB on Luna. Also pretty much touching onto the level 18. Jump forward onto We Are in the River. Kuro's able to swap him back, in fact, into the arrow as well. Nisha jumps in and he gets forward out. GH able to find that angle to punish Nisha's overextension. And now another swap back from Kuro. The stolen swap though from Yapsor gets him back where he'd been swapped away from. Quick reactions there from the Rubik. The arrow comes in and GH will be the man to steal the show off the back of all that. He paused and said lag after he hits an amazing arrow.
Secret tried to do the same thing again this time. As soon as Mind Control TP, like Zai forced the TP up top from pushing over and over again, they tried to take a fight, but Nigma was actually prepared this time. They had everybody at the ready. Beautiful lined up arrows from GH back to back.
Both times there. And because it really did, like, alright, yep, so stolen swap. He's going to be the one that walks away with a nice play here. But yeah, GH saying, no, sir, today I'll be the 4 to steal the show. Excellent arrows. Just keeping himself a step ahead and keeping the lead there for Nigma. They're still up 2k, and with the push out on this bottom and the wave coming round, 2 heroes dead on Secret, they can push forward for this tier 2 as well.
Yep, Zai's going to try to stall it as long as possible with that living armor, with that Nature's Grasp. Oh, little creep gets hit by the arrow.
Dire's bottom tower is under.
They're actually going to pop the glyph too.
Relic timing is done on Matu. Just needs to make his way. I'll get the courier out to the shop.
Yep, he's making sure keeps himself clarityed up as well. He actually was quite low on mana the last time when they tried to go for that, when Nigma splits up play to look for the haunt thing. So he has to make sure he has enough mana for the haunt and that dagger when they do go for those type of plays. And sending the courier out.
Quick grab. Poppy tries to step forward on the mid lane. They'll get him. There'll be a jump forward for Nisha and a quick jump out. Doesn't want to mess around. Nigma, as you say, for pretty much the entirety of this mid-game, just moving around as 5. You cannot step forward near this lineup unless you're ready to approach them with the entirety of your team yourself. Mass TP's up top. They want to try and get this these side lanes pushed round. The last tier 2 remaining on that top lane. The Nigma want to deal with.
Might be able to get him here.
They're going to have to lead in Burrow Strike for sure. There it is. Arrow connection. Do they have the damage with the epicenter? They'll certainly have a good shot at it. Mind Control revs it up and will be able to take down Matu, taking him out of this area of the map. Did manage to get his relic purchase done, of course, before he died, but still a painful 45 seconds. This will allow Nigma to push up top, get around towards that tier 2. GH as well, with the involvement that he's had, he's got the full Greaves. So Nigma, they very much are very close to the point where this lineup, they're just going to start going to the high ground.
Yeah, it might be...
Miracle, he was there waiting as a bit of a nasty surprise for Yapsor. As Yapsor's tried to step forward, get a bit of warding done. Miracle waiting there with the Eclipse.
Yep, I think the next biggest things is, now they have the Weehaw, he has his BKB too, is probably just keep tabs of when the Roche spawns. If you can keep the lanes pushed out, you get a good opportunity around Roche, get that Aegis, that's going to be your big go time. Right now though, they have a little bit of time, they might actually press the issue forward here.
There we have it, into the base they go. Nigma very strong right now. What can Secret do to put a stop to it? Zai comes in, he has overgrowth at the ready. Matsu still not quite having the Radiance. The Relic alone not really too much of a scare for Nigma. Needs to have that Radiance done before Nigma's going to really think twice about pushing into it.
Nisha has Axe now.
Jump in, get the silence onto Weehaw, but there's Mind Control. Immediately finds Puppey on the front lines again. The follow-up's there, the arrow connects. Puppey will fall. An instant buyback from the Enchantress. Secret do not want to allow Nigma to get away with this, but Nigma, they're not going to go anywhere. They're going to go straight back up with the tier 3 down there onto the barracks. Miracle focusing down the range Rex first, looking for the easier of the two targets. Pots the Manta. Remnant does catch him, but he's still able to sit back and be cool. He has the BKB if he feels too threatened. We are getting aggressive onto the Spectre. Puppey, he goes forward. Puppey brought back for this. The heals from side coming out with the degrees. Puppey still alive. He's falling low. The Horn's there, but Matu, he's being focused by We Are with the BKB. Is staying on top of the Spectre, forcing Matu to get out of the fight. And the Horn, it pushes them back a little bit, but it doesn't get them any sort of kill. Kuro comes in with a safety swap on Weehaw, keeping him alive. Mind Control jumps in. He's found Zai. The damage being spat out from the Viper from afar, bringing Zai low. Miracle offers the finishing blow with the Lucent Beam. They get the kill. The range racks will fall. Another jump in onto Miracle. He has Manta back up in a few seconds. He's getting very low. Yapsor with the stolen Burrow Strike. He's able to get in, kill off the Luna, but they're all so low on Secret. They've got to back away. As they've lost the Luna, it is the main pushing force gone from Nigma, but there's 2 down on Secret. We are slowly able to bring this melee racks down, and Secret, they're going to let this one go. They cannot fight with just the 3 of them. Nigma, they lost Miracle, but they got the job done. 27 minutes in, a full set of racks, everything continuing to go to plan for Nigma.
Yeah, great way that they held their ground there too. Those both swaps from Kuroki were absolutely perfect, getting the ideal save. I saw what Nisha was trying to do there. I think he was trying to actually jump in and clip the backlines with the silence, so the Venge can't actually get the swap. Just out of range though to be able to actually get that. They get the saves and he actually gets focused down. Just still so much overwhelming control coming up from Nigma. They get one stun, it's gonna be followed up every single time with another one. What the f just happened?
Even with dying there, Miracle's very close to having that butterfly complete.
Yep.
I mean, Secret couldn't stop them there with that push. How does Secret make sure that it goes differently the next time that Nigma come knocking at their base, which you know is going to be very, very soon. Nigma, as soon as Miracle's back on game, they're going to be right by the doors of Secret once again.
Go finish that Radiant, at least in particular for Matamba. That's the first step, and then the second one is somehow get onto the back line. I think it's Nisha. It's going to be Nisha's job to really get back there and get the double silence with his Resonant Pulse onto those supports so they can actually make those aggressive moves on the front line. But it's very hard.
Kuro's got backup. TPs are coming in from Secret. Kuro swapping in. Mind Control jumps forward with the Burrow Strike. They'll get Yapsor, and they get more out of this as well. Mind Control, he's in on the front. He's tanky. We are pots the BKB. Commits onto Zai. It's the second kill for Nigma. Over to the side. Kuro, he's still alive. They weren't even able to kill him. They turn with the stun onto Nisha. The ult's out as well from Mind Control. He attempts to dissimulate over the cliffs, but he can't quite make it. Nisha will fall. Nigma again taking 3, only losing Kuro, and only at the very end of it as well. Kuro getting a lot done in that fight before he goes down. And with that, they'll have no trouble taking away this tier 2, getting the wave up towards the base, and with a 10k lead, they're very much ready to go for a second set of racks. The Radiance is there on Matu. We'll see how much that makes a difference, because as we're seeing in every fight, as you anticipated and as the panel said, he just has to run. Every time Weehaw gets a hold on him, Matu just cannot stand in the fight. He just melts.
Yeah, and then you see like we mentioned, like he has to probably get the third item BKB. He's got it queued up, but I don't know if he's going to have the time to be able to get that, as Nigma not showing any hesitation here with that aggressive play top. Immediately into this Roche pit now. Aegis and Cheese, that's going to be the one to close the game out. Secret, and I don't see the fight getting at all easier. Just much harder for them. Poor Matamba Man, never going to be able to really do what he wants to do inside of the fights because of this Viper pick that was the final one for Team Nigma.
No, yeah, it really has been. Just having that break on the floor ruins the Spectre's game. Secret trying to get some space down here in the bottom, at least make sure that not all three waves are pushing in against them. Nigma, now smoke up behind Wheat.
They're gonna look for the fight. Okay, they're looking for the fight. Look, it seems like they know where Team Secret is down here.
I mean, they're not bringing Weehaw. Weehaw staying mid, maybe to add to the confusion for Secret. We'll see if Secret do fall for this. There's the jump. They managed to initiate onto Nisha. Lucent Beam buying that extra bit of time required to make sure the arrow can connect. And Nisha is picked off. Start to bring round this bottom wave.
Just easy when you're not playing versus like any force steps or anything again. You just stun into an arrow. There's no way for them to really avoid those. I've seen Puppy trying to build toward it for quite a while now too, but it's super late in the game for them to be able to go back for it now. Too many people have died from the combo.
And yeah, with this butterfly miracle, I mean, the racks are going to fall so quickly. That bundled in with the auras, as we talked about, the strength that Nigma has at pushing objectives. Secret, it's almost Secret. Can they really take a fight on the high ground? Isn't their best bet to try and fight Nigma away from the base? It feels like a high ground defense is just going to be so hard because Miracle's just going to walk up and start hitting your racks regardless and let the glaives do the work.
I think it's just extremely difficult either way, right?
Yeah.
They're at quite a deficit in this one.
Dyer's bottom tower.
Nigma has played their draft very well this game, just keeping up that aggression throughout the entire mid-game, not giving Secret much breathing room at all.
No, and there's no surprise that you're able to see this come out from Nigma because as we saw in Game 1, they very much played to an incredible level at the start. It was just those mistakes that allowed Secret to really turn the game against Nigma. This time around, Nigma, those mistakes haven't happened. They're hitting the timings, their draft is getting away with everything that they would hope it to, and at 31 minutes in, a set of racks up, there's no reason to believe that they're not going to be able to continue this level of play and close up this game too.
Yeah, I mean, GH, again, just like yesterday, right? The first game of the day yesterday, GH had the absolutely dominant Mirana. This game as well, he's been like on
doing it again.
A couple arrows he had that were whatever, but all the ones that mattered, he's connected on, and he's super farmed 4-0-13.
Doesn't feed.
He's owning.
You can see why they like to grab this one early for GH in the drafts.
Yep.
A very, very solid, reliable hero to put him on right now. Something that GH is just showing us how comfortably he's on.
Yeah, and I'm glad they're not afraid to pick something. I know they have pretty recently, I think it was like 6 days ago, the Sand King, the Mirana. Just these easy types of setups. And just so many different ones also when they throw in the Venge too. Just makes the game a lot easier to play, and it's exactly what they've done. All three lanes pushing it aggressively. They've got good control.
And just on paper, I mean, it looked rough in terms of the draft at the start because of that Viper against the Spectre, and even now it's very much, Secret, their draft, it does fall on the shoulders of Matu to be able to carry it, but it's just such a nasty game to try and carry as a Spectre because of that Viper, and the fact that you're carrying against Miracle's Luna, who at the moment he's just so far ahead in farm. He's over one major item ahead.
It's about to be
much
two.
of a difference.
Now he has two major
so
items
far ahead. Satanic and Butterfly done on the Luna. I mean, he's even starting to run out of slots with that Aegis as well, Miracle. At just 33 minutes in. He's absolutely huge. There's the swap out. Matu, he's in trouble. The arrow comes in. Matu's getting taken out in the front of the fight. Can he actually get his way out of it? Will be able to sneak his way to the side, but he's still falling so low. Another Lucifer in the Eclipse finishes him off. That's Matu dead. Nigma able to start the push in the perfect fashion, killing off the carry. The only hero Secret have with any semblance of farm. He has got buyback, but if he buys back, it's going to be costly. They have to make something happen here. Secret Yapso does have the stolen Eclipse, but nobody in range of it. They do manage to lift up, grab mind control. Matu leading outside of the base, but it's into the hands of We Are turns with the Viper Strike. GH's arrow will be off the mark, but Matu just falls so low to the fighting power of the Viper alone. He has to get back to the base, will manage to live. So Secret do push back Nigma, but it does cost Matu's buyback, and that's incredibly costly as a Spectre that's already fallen so far behind it, far into the Luna.